Hey everybody, Mike Lowe here, SimSportsGaming.com, bringing you episode 3 of our Tigers bi-weekly franchise stream. I am, of course, playing games of this in the background, but twice a week streaming the games just to bring you some kind of live coverage, but also a chance to chat about sliders, chat about baseball, chat about MLB The Show, anything else you might want to chat about, 30-team control, things like that. I know there's been a lot of questions, so just a few things. What I've been trying to set up each of these streams is kind of like some talk before. I don't usually talk a ton during the actual gameplay itself, which I'll save for the end so that people can see that. But this is really kind of a stream that starts off with some discussion, and at the end we'll be at least looking at the game recap, where we look at pitch analysis, batter analysis, we look at the box score, things like that as well. So if you're wanting just to kind of see how we're getting some of our data and what we're really examining, you can skip to the end of this video if you're watching the archive, and you can go and see the post game there at the end here. But right now we are live, and we're looking at just a handful of different things with this particular franchise. First, I wanted to just take a look at the slider vault. And again, thank everybody for supporting the sliders and helping with the awesome feedback. You can see it is the most downloaded slider set in the vault right now. The version 1.0, which came out, was it like last Sunday or something, March 22nd, whatever that was. So it's been out about a week. Of course, the beta was also getting pretty good reviews. So this is a really high score. I'm super pumped about that for close to 2,000 downloads, having that high of a score there. So again, thank you. I'm really happy with them too. This is probably the year I'm the most satisfied so far. We did have a patch this week, which has adjusted a couple things as we sort of anticipated. It seems like this game in the beginning likes to ramp up power a little bit to get people excited. A lot of games tend to do that sort of thing, Madden with interceptions and things like that, big broken tackles, and eventually it starts to kind of tune itself a little bit to a more realistic balance once they're able to look at much more data than we're able to look at. So I'm assuming the MLB The Show does something similar to that. And so anyway, we did make some changes, and I'm continuing to make some changes this week. The most active thread for these sliders is up on Operation Sports in their MLB The Show slider thread. And I posted earlier today the changes that I'm playing with today in this particular game that you'll be seeing here momentarily. And you can look at all the different changes there that I've made. That again, not final. I haven't made it like a version 1.1. It's nothing like that. It's just little things that I'm tinkering. I've gone back and forth on a couple different things, but it's pretty good. I'm really happy with where things are at overall. I would say there's at least one thing in this game that's just really hard to balance. And again, that's just as a pitcher, being honest about walking the AI. If you wanted to, you go through a season and hardly walk anybody, and that's just kind of how this game goes. I wish there was sort of two different pitch accuracy sliders. Like I wish there was accuracy out of the zone slider, because we could really like bottom that slider out and have a lot more pitches just get thrown for harmless balls. But this game, not so much this year. It's much better this year, but you get plenty of missed pitches that end up in the zone. In previous years, in my personal opinion, it was a lot worse. So, but that's the slider I would love to see, is just some sort of way to increase. And again, we can easily increase it for the AI. We can have them throw more pitches. There's a strike to ball ratio. And again, maybe even something like that, where as corny as it might sound, maybe there's a slider that would just, hey, no matter what you do, it's just going to once in a while simulate you throwing a ball. Even if you hit the meter, it's going to just mix in more balls. I mean, I'd personally be fine with that. I don't really trend towards kind of arcade gameplay. So if there's little simulation things in there like that, so be it. Real quick, let's look at the highest rated. Oh, we're not the highest rated. Somebody got 3 downloads here. So good for them. That's awesome. But again, I've had really good success here with these slider sets because of the community, because of all of you helping out. So I appreciate you watching these streams, giving me feedback on Twitter, on Sim Sports Gaming's Discord, Operation Sports, and so on. Places you can find me: Twitter at MikeLowe47. The Sim Sports Gaming Discord is also pretty active, and I'm on there as well. Let's see, where else? YouTube, where you're probably watching this now. You can subscribe to the Sim Sports Gaming YouTube channel. That would be great. This is a newer channel, so we're trying to get our subscriptions from the previous channel switched over. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna just load up the old franchise here. And this is the first game I'll be playing with Sounds of the Show loaded in. I loaded in a ton of sounds this week for the Tigers. It's really, really cool. I'm hoping YouTube doesn't like take them down. I think we should be within that. I think it's like a 30-second threshold you can get, but I don't know how YouTube does that exactly. But really, really cool. But before we get into all that, let's talk about the franchise and where we're at, and then I'll take a look at any questions that have come in here. But again, thanks for watching here. This is a Tigers MLB The Show 20 franchise stream where we're focused on realistic franchise play. We're focused on using the slider set that I've been working on over really the past few years, but of course with this game, just the past few weeks. The Tigers, as you probably last saw them, right? We started off 3-0. We went into Cleveland and swept Cleveland, right? How crazy was that? A pretty bad Tiger team. When you start this franchise, they're like the 28th franchise, and like I think the only thing they even have going for them is maybe like their 21st in speed or something like that. But everything was like 26th, 27th, 28th. They're bad, right? So we started 3-0. This is pretty exciting. Couple one-run games, and then I think the game we streamed was a big comeback win. This is the last game that we streamed on Wednesday. And if we look at that box score again, just to kind of remember that one, we had a really big comeback. You can see in the 7th inning there to tie it, and then we scored 3 more in the 10th to win it on just 7 hits, though. So again, really just kind of spreading things out. I can just give you a chance to take a look at that. So I'm going to take a sip of my drink here. But yeah, it started off really well. We then came home for the home opener. We lost 2-1 to the Royals. Again, just could not get the bats going here at all. We were winning 1-0 in the 2nd inning. Things were looking good. Lost in extra innings. So back-to-back 10-inning games there. Kansas City finally did enough to get things moving along. If we jump ahead for the rest of that, it was only a 2-game series with Kansas City. Again, the Tiger Bats struggling after scoring 7. We did put up 7 hits, which isn't terrible, but just a 1 run there in the 6th inning, which we were leading. I'm sorry, we were not leading. We made it close, right? So it was 2-0 Kansas City after 4, made it 2-1, and then the 9th inning, just couldn't claw close at all. But let's see here, just looking at some pitching. Jordan Zimmerman actually pitched okay. Again, we'll take a look at some of the stats here. And this most recent game, the Thursday game I played, I should say I really played it earlier today, but just got our butts kicked here by Cleveland. They had 22 hits in this game, right? We only had 5. So again, our bats we're really starting to kind of regress back to that mean line, I guess you could call it. And they just crushed it. Francisco Lindor was a home run shy of the cycle. He had 2 doubles. Just killing us, right? Just completely killing us. So really, really rough game for the Tigers. But let's take a look at just kind of some performances. Again, really early on, we have some players who are doing pretty well and some that are struggling mightily. Victor Reyes has been a nice player for us, 346 so far this year. We put him into that leadoff spot, and he's filled it really nice. A 370 on base percentage. He's got an OPS of 793. I mean, you're getting that out of your leadoff hitter, you'll take that every time. That's playoff caliber right there. So that's really, really great. He's doing a nice job in center field, even though he doesn't have a great arm rating. I'm sorry, yes, he does. I was thinking Maven. He's just been a really nice player for us. Had a really clutch stolen base in one of the games. He's got 2 already on the season, even though he's not really in a position where I want him stealing too much in front of our better hitters. And I say that with a grain of salt because there's been a struggle for some others. Christian Stewart has just 1 hit on the year. He's hitting .045. Cabrera's starting to hit a little bit better. I think he had a hit or 2. He's had like 3 hits in the last 2 games, so he's finally starting to come on. Scopes has been struggling. CJ Cron was doing well, but it kind of did an 0 for the last game, and that dropped his average down. Again, Cameron Maven's hitting 300. Austin Romine 214. So you can see just a lot of really, really bad averages. Candelario is getting on base. It's on base is 250, which for that batting average is actually really good. He's got 4 walks and 16 plate appearances. So again, really, really good numbers. And one of the most common questions I get on Operation Sports is like, well, how does it, like I use directional hitting, for instance, like, is that going to impact, is it going to take into consideration the player attributes? And it absolutely does. Of course, directional does. What I meant to say is that zone does as well. And it does also for things like discipline, right? So whether you're using zone or directional, discipline's a really big rating. That's what's going to lead to, again, just getting more balls thrown to that particular player. Borderline pitches aren't so borderline. With a player with high discipline, it just makes it easier to lay off pitches. And again, not so many borderline pitches. Where a guy with a low discipline is going to probably see more calls going towards the pitcher, more strikes thrown. So again, you can see that here with Candelario, 4 bases on balls and just 16 at bats is really good. So off the bench, really nothing. A lot of these guys haven't had at bats. Again, 0 for 3 on the year for Demerit. Castro, a couple pinch hit at bats. Mercer just 1. So again, Jake Rogers has had 2 starts. He did hit a huge double in that 7-run game that put us up 3-0. I think he had pretty much the game-winning double there in like the 10th inning. So again, just trying to get some of these guys some playing time. We will probably see that in this particular game because we're just starting to play a handful of games now. We're just starting to see fatigue set in for the first time. Pitching, Matthew Boyd, he's pitched 10 innings. He's got 7 strikeouts, right? So ERA, he had pitched really well the first game and pitched 4 2/3 the last game, had 5 strikeouts. Did okay, but just I think he gave up 4 or 5 runs that game. So struggled. Fulmer's only pitched the 1, but pitched really well. Spencer Turnbull, same thing. Actually, he got taken out early. I'm sorry, he did not pitch well. Daniel Norris pitched really well. 6 innings, 4 strikeouts, and no runs. That was that home opener, 2-1. And Jordan Zimmerman surprised us by pitching 7 innings and pitching pretty well. He did take the loss. Ivan Nova has done okay. He's pitched a couple of games just as our long reliever. He's got pretty rough ratings, so he did give up a handful of hits in relief to Cleveland there. But again, hanging around. That's what you want to see out of your long relievers, just kind of giving you some innings. Bullpen's been pretty good, actually. You can see the strikeout numbers are lining pretty nicely. He's got 2 strikeouts in under 2 innings, 5 strikeouts in 3 2/3. Buck Farmer's got 6 strikeouts in 2 innings, so he struck out every single batter he's faced as far as recording outs. Nick Ramirez has been our coldest pitcher by far. He's really up just as our second lefty. He's not a world beater by any means. I'm just hoping he can kind of get that last out against a lefty once in a while. He has struggled. No question about it. But again, very, very small sample size. But 2 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, no strikeouts. I mean, that's about as bad as you can be. Struggling there. Joe Jimenez off to a bit of a slow start. Xavier Cedeno has pitched pretty well, 4 strikeouts in 3 2/3. And Arodys Vizcaíno has pitched well. 7 strikeouts in 2 2/3. Just the 1 save. We've actually gotten saves from 3 different players already. Vizcaíno was hurt for a couple games, and so I was just kind of using bullpen by committee as necessary for those last couple wins we had. So that's what's going on with the team. Let's see if there's anything back here I want to show you. I do want to take a quick look at the draft. We didn't look at that the last stream, and I figured we could take a look and see where my scouts are going and what we're looking at. And the Tigers are the first pick in the draft, as far as I know. We should. And so for the second year in a row, they'll be picking second or third year in a row. So maybe it's 2 of the last 3. They'll be picking because they got Casey Mize and Riley Green. Riley Green wasn't first overall, but so yeah, I think it's 2 of the last 3 years, number 1 overall. So we'll take a look at that. And real quick, I want to mention the Sounds of the Show. Really, really cool feature if you haven't tried it out. I probably would need to do a separate tutorial on this because it took me a little while to get into it. And I have a background in editing and in music production and video production and stuff. And it's still took a little time to kind of figure out the music editor and the playlist editors and the difference between these different editors. But once you get into it, it's pretty straightforward and it makes a lot of sense. So you'll hear a lot of those sounds in today's game. Really, really, really cool addition. And again, it's been in the game since like 16 or something, but I've never used it before. But really, really cool. Shout out to the folks on the Operation Sports Sound of the Show forum, which is where I found those audio files. And just loaded in the sounds for the Tigers for now. I don't think I'll probably go through and do all 30 teams because it did take quite a while to get going, but super, super cool there. So I mentioned the draft, right? and what we're kind of looking at here. And again, this is automatically sorted by potential. The top prospects are already scouted. But really, where I am focusing, especially with this first pick, is I'm looking at the MLB estimated time of arrival, right? I want a guy, I don't really want, at least with this first overall pick, I mean, these are too much of crapshoots. Who knows what can happen in 4 or 5 years? Guy could get hurt, guy could regress, who knows? Definitely looking more kind of at the 2023 and earlier. Obviously, we'll want a decent potential on somebody, but also an overall. You know, if we can get a guy who's already up into the 70s, I mean, this guy can play next year. Even in a 65, they technically could. It's probably better to sit and progress a little bit in the minors. But, you know, one of the first guys who stands out to me, and we're currently scouting him, I think. Or no, we're not. Okay, so he was just discovered, I think. But so my scouts are looking for infielders in the East. They must be, yeah. So our scout Adrian McGill there on the bottom is looking at infielders in the East. And look at this guy again, not scouted, but a 75 potential. And that was not an 80, but still, his overall is already a 75. He plays infield. He's got a low injury risk, which was one of the first things I look at. Bats right. He can also play shortstop. And if we look at his defensive ratings, yeah, he absolutely could play shortstop and play it really well. I mean, this guy's just a defensive stud, a really nice contact bat. He's got potential to hit maybe 20 home runs or so. But this guy could probably hit, you know, 330 easily, year in and year out. He's kind of like to me, he sort of looks like a Buster Posey sort of player, just at third base, with probably a little bit more power than Buster Posey. I mean, he almost kind of looks the makeup of like Buster Posey's MVP season. Now, again, he's not scouted, so we'd have to see. But 6'5", 196. I mean, just got an incredible frame for a third baseman there, 21 years old, and even decent speed, right? And it's not terrible at all for a corner infielder. So he's a pull hitter there. You can see on the left-hand side. But this guy looks really promising. I'll be excited to scout him once we free up a scout here. But again, looking for similarly rated players. You know, the Tigers are pretty deep with pitching. I'm certainly not taking a relief pitcher, number 1 overall. So I'm mostly looking at positional players. So again, we have another third baseman here. He's a year older, Antoine Gonzalez. Not rated currently as high. He's a 65 instead of 75. An average injury risk. Also a pull hitting righty, 6'5", 211, so about the same size as the other guy. Similar makeup. Again, this is just kind of a little bit of a lesser player here. He doesn't have as good of an arm. I mean, he's a step down, at least preliminarily, from the previous third baseman we looked at, Jimmy Geiger. Antoine Gonzalez can also play first, but to me, it's Geiger's a much better prospect so far. We'll definitely scout both those, but those guys are in the runnings for sure. We are currently scouting Charles Dawson, who is estimated to be a 2022 player. A little shorter, right, for a first baseman, but he can also play catcher and left field. That's a really interesting positional mix there. So 5'11", 174, smaller guy. He's got a good frame for a catcher for sure. Outfield as well. Definitely, he can really hit to all fields there, as you can see. Just 21 years old. And again, another really strong contact hitter. This guy can bring the power bat, though. So again, you know, if this guy can hold down his own at catching, it's a really nice bat. His injury risk is low, which means he'll have good durability, which means he'll have good fatigue. So you could put this guy at catcher, and then maybe, you know, once or twice a week, also get him into the field to rest his knees a little bit. I love that plate discipline of 70. He's an above average fielder. Nothing great. He's got a real nice arm, but certainly can be put in the outfield. He's slow, but again, who cares with that kind of power? I forgot to look at the plate discipline and whatnot for these guys. So again, great plate vision. He'll have a huge PCI. Plate discipline's definitely solid. Jimmy Geiger, plate discipline of 80, plate vision of 70. I mean, this guy can be really good. I mean, so far it looks like Dawson or Geiger. Both these guys can play very, very soon. Again, it's going to come down just to what they look like when they're being scouted. I'm really hoping that we see Charles Dawson pop an overall up to 70 once we finish scouting him. That would be really cool. Chase Acosta, another first baseman. He's only 18, so I would probably not want to draft someone this young. I would rather get someone because to me that's just probably a sign that he's just not ready yet. And I would love to get some kind of impact player for the Tigers. They're just pretty weak at hitting. Again, not a bad player, but he's just a first baseman, no secondary positions. That automatically puts this guy much lower than the others. You can find a first baseman just about anywhere. He does bat right. And I would say the last guy well, I guess we could look at two more here. Pedro Urban, 22-year-old international in Dominican Republic here. Can play all three outfield positions. He's a switch hitter, so that's a huge bonus. Good frame, 6'4", 187, 22 years old. Not a great hitter though, right? I mean, this is a guy, if he's sitting around in the second round, yeah, I would love to take him because he has the potential to still be, an all-star caliber hitter potentially. But that plate vision, plate discipline, not great at all. It's almost like this guy kind of looks like a switch hitting, like Yasiel Puig or something, right? Just way better defensively. He's going to swing at a lot of pitches. He's great defender though. Really, really great. Got good speed. I mean, almost similar to like a Cespedes when he came up, right? It's just for switch hitting. Very, very similar looking player there, just obviously younger than a Cespedes. But this is not a guy I would consider for the first overall pick. He is scouted. There's no way I would take someone with the first overall pick like that. So Robin Sewell, again, needs to be scouted. Very undersized player, but again, it doesn't hurt you at shortstop at all. Can definitely man a couple different positions there, outfield, shortstop. He's got really nice defensive ratings, really nice speed, just an okay hitter, but he's got some pop. So again, to be able to play center field with a little bit of pop and also play shortstop, not a bad player, not somebody I would take with the first overall pick. But again, we'll probably give him a scout look here just to see. So again, those are just some of the draftees there that we're considering. I'm going to check the chat here. And then it's probably time to jump into some gameplay and see if the Tigers can finally start doing something. Just getting caught up on the chat here, but I'll let you look at those prospects while I do that. Dang, Adrian, you're 37 games in your franchise already. Nice. I don't have that kind of time. I will get through this season, but it'll take me 6 to 12 months, but we'll do it. Ryan, pitchers do get tired around 75 pitches. That's normal. Doesn't mean they're gassed. But yeah, I mean, effectiveness certainly. I mean, a lot of the big trend in baseball now is not big trend, but I mean, it's been a trend for a number of years now. Is the statistics of letting your pitcher go through the lineup a third time. You see a massive drop. Almost every single pitcher in baseball, you see a massive drop, and this is why teams are starting to utilize things like openers, right, instead of closers. Like they're starting with a guy who just pitches like an inning or two, and then they switch. And these are the reasons why. Is that pitchers just their effectiveness goes way down, and of course, the pitchers are getting used to, or the hitters are used to seeing that pitcher now. They're kind of learning his tendencies. They're learning all those different elements of the pitcher's game during that particular, game itself. And so, but 75 pitches, that's not terrible. I mean, you can probably push that to 90 or so. But 90 to 100 is rare. A lot of guys aren't throwing that much anymore. I don't know what you lose by auto scouting. I'm sure something. It's just really, I think what you would lose mostly by auto scouting is like, again, if I had an auto, they'd probably be scouting a lot of those like 2024 plus players, which is fine. I mean, I'll draft some guys like that, but not the first overall. Like I'm at least doing this manually for the first overall pick. There's no way I would trust the AI because I don't want somebody who's ready in 5 years. Okay, cool. So I think that about covers most of the questions I saw in comments and whatnot. But well, let's take a look here. So it's Michael Fulmer versus Carlos Carrasco. A few years ago, this would have been a premier matchup, right? But maybe we'll see just that. So, of course, looking at Fulmer's ratings, it's a bit underwhelming. I feel like he's, and he was hurt last year, but goodness, they really hit his ratings. And one of the reasons he has even a 74 rating is his stamina is really solid. So, an 87. But again, he did pitch pretty well for us. He wasn't really striking out a ton of guys, but he had 3 and 6 innings pitched, 2 walks. He did okay, a WHIP of 1.33. So again, it wasn't bad at all. And this was against Cleveland, so it was against a good team. And you can see his advanced metrics check out. He pitched well. Um, you'd like to see that go up. You'd like to see that stay put at the very least. So again, he did okay. We'll see how it goes. I don't think he has any quirks. He does not. If we look at Carlos Carrasco for Cleveland, again, similar, is going to be giving up some hits potentially. We'll see. My Tigers have not been hitting anybody lately. He's got really nice control with that base on balls per 9, which is a really, really important rating. I don't think a lot of people are so used to just looking at hits per 9 and K per 9, but thank you MLB The Show for making the other ratings matter. Home runs per 9, control base on balls per 9. That those ratings matter. They definitely matter, and so that's really good to see. He's a day player, so that's going to come into play because we are playing mostly day games here in early April when it's still cold up north. If we look at the one game, it was probably against us. This would have been the third game of the series, that real high-scoring game. So I think the last time I streamed, I believe it's when we played Carrasco. He went 6 1/3, gave up 3, struck out 4, walked just the 1. So that's what we're looking at today. I think we're ready to jump in here. Before we do that, though, let me simulate that. By the way, we have, I think, 3 complete games so far. A little high, but I'm just letting it go for now. But if I get more, I'll probably undo that and reload. But let's do that first. Oops, that's our game. Oh, there's only a few games today. We should be okay. Oops. And again, I simulate these. I don't look at the scores, so that way on the ticker it's still accurate. The only thing I do is just go and just make sure we don't have a bunch more of these, and we don't, so that's cool. I keep getting tons of questions really quick before we jump in about 30-team control. And they're like, oh, I have these 2 profiles like you do, MLB and CPU or users, whatever you call it, doesn't matter. And I have mine set to manual. But when I go back and I look at an AI team, it's still setting everything wrong, or they're on manual. 2 things, right? First, make sure you have yours used as default. And that's the one you're going to obviously use. Make sure it's set up however you want. I use all manual. That's fine. The other really important part is, again, make sure your secondary one has everything on auto. Now, the only other part you need to worry about, again, as I flip back, it goes back to manual, is this right here. You got to make sure that the AI teams are set to CPU and your team is set to MLB. That's it. Then when you back out of this, if you made changes, it's going to ask you to save it, or do you want to apply these changes or something? That's all you have to do. You're good to go. So hope that helps. All right, we're jumping into gameplay. Carlos Carrasco versus Michael Fulmer. Sounds of the show in full effect here. And these are, it's really cool. Like 90% of the stuff I heard is like legit stuff at Comerica Park. Somebody grew up watching the Tigers, been to a million Tiger games in my life. Just really, really cool to see. So always like to take a quick look at the bullpen. Everyone's available, so that's good to know. Lineup. Victor Reyes is ready for a day off, but I'll probably wait for a non-stream game unless they ping me to give him a day off. Everyone else is good. We looked at Carrasco. Let's see. I'm going to let Jake Rogers play today again. I'm trying to just rotate the catchers in and out. And I was going to let Jordy Mercer play, but that's okay. If Nico or Victor need a day off, we'll give it to him if it tells us. Hey, I want to check one thing, guys, real quick. My apologies. It's a Friday game. And what was I gonna? Oh yeah, I wanted just to see. The one thing I've been looking at least for my lineup, is the home run per 9 rating, because I have a couple outfielders like more contact versus more power. So he has a pretty bad home run per 9. So I will end up keeping in the lineup Christian Stewart. If he was a really, really good home runs against player, I would take him out. Christian Stewart's been cold as can be. So to kind of switch things up, I think I'm actually going to switch these guys around a little bit. Maybe let Nico go there, and then put Rogers. So we'll get Candelario. He's been doing a nice job, again, drawing walks. So these two guys are getting on base. Let's see if that can help. And then I will put... Cameron Maben's one of those guys who actually hits righties better, so he's almost like a lefty. So I'm going to actually keep it like that. Yeah, that looks good. Travis Demeritte, I'm still trying to get in the lineup a little bit more. I could give Maben a day off, but not yet. Again, if one of these guys need a start, yeah, no, they're good to go. So the next game, I'll probably sit Victor and Nico Goodrum. All right, it's game time. Connor, I don't know if they're permanent.
Daytime baseball
nothing's
here
ever
on
permanent.
MLB Network. Today, game 2 of this 4-game set between the Cleveland Indians and the Detroit Tigers. Live baseball here on MLB Network, and it comes your way next.
The thoughts with my testing, specific changes, just making the gameplay more realistic. I mean, there's too many thoughts to share them all, really.
Will be on the bump for game 2 of the series.
But it's important not to get too carried away.
Here, Danny?
Hey, one of the things you look
Still
for
early.
in a pitcher, Matty, is movement on the fastball, and this guy has great run on his fastball. What does that mean? On his arm side, when he throws, the ball has it looks almost like a cutter. It has this little sweeping action. What it does, it keeps the hitters from hitting.
So, of course, make sure you change these at the start of a game. Oops. There we go.
Hitting it off the barrel of
All right, Michael Fulmer.
A very effective pitch, but a very difficult pitch to command.
Here's the first pitch to him. And afternoon baseball on MLB Network is underway.
I like to think of seasons sometimes as like 7-game series, right? So we won 3 in a row, we lost 3 in a row, and this is sort of like a game 7 in a way.
First pitch.
Hand is good contact hitter, good bunter. We're ready for that though, as you can see. But don't be afraid to throw a ball out of the zone here, especially with the bunt master.
And the 0-1. And a pitch in the
pitches
dirt
like
as
that.
he lays off. It's 1-1.
And again, I mentioned at the very start of the stream, really, no slider set is really going to get you throwing the proper amount of balls. Nobody wants to walk players, right? But you also want realistic stats. So that's completely up to you to manage that the way that you want. If I get posts and direct messages all the time, like, I'm leading the MLB in walks allowed, like, what should I do? I'm like, throw more balls. Be honest about it. Intentionally walk guys when you need to. Don't be afraid on a 3-2 count to throw a ball like way out of the zone. See if they'll chase it. You know, in baseball, you see it all the time. You'll see a guy walk the bases loaded with no outs. When's the last time you've done that? So again, it's about you being honest with yourself, or not. It's completely up to you.
Now the pitch. 2-1. Temperature about what you'd expect for this time of year. 56 degrees at first pitch.
Ooh, that's so cold. I'm used to my southern temps. I can't do that anymore.
Now the 2-1 pitch. Lifted down the line and left, but this will land untouched. Here now the 2-2 is laid off of for ball number 3. Ground ball left side. A dive, and he knocks it down. And he'll make it to first easily on what will almost certainly be ruled an infield single.
Tip your cap if you're the pitcher right there. That was a great battle. Couple of tough pitches. Offensive player able to work.
I saw earlier also someone posting on the slider thread about, you know, all the runs I'm giving up are off of home runs. It's funny. I see a lot of the opposite lately. I'm giving up still, you know, 1 home run a game or so-ish. But I'm seeing them score runs just by hitting doubles, singles, stringing hits together a lot. Again, walks, right? If you're not walking people, you're going to skew things. or if you're not throwing enough balls, you're going to skew things.
Himself deep into the count, pitcher on the attack, but chalk
So
one
new
up
hitter
for the
here. Have not
offense on
faced
that.
Mike Freeman. He's a bench bat for them. Not much of a threat though. We do have some speed on first, nothing crazy.
And the next batter will be Mike Freeman, as he'll go after the first pitch to him and
feels
comes up
good today.
empty at strike one. Fulmer has become known as a starting pitcher that frequently works deep into games. The kind of guy you want on the staff when your team needs some rest, because he tends to eat up innings all by himself.
Make sure they're not
Man,
up
every
there.
team is looking for a guy like this. In a day and age where we're going to the bullpens more early and more often, you need at least one or two guys into the rotation that have the chance to get you into the 7th or 8th inning, and he's definitely one of those guys.
Off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's a great call right there. Fastball away with a guy who's got some jets on first base, almost like a hybrid pitch out. Great for a catcher if that guy's running. Easy transfer throw to second base.
And he's back in standing.
I'm trying to see if they'll actually limit the hit and runs if you throw over more. I think that does. I do think it helps. But again, if you're throwing too many strikes, they're going to hit and run on you. Bad pitch.
Hit out towards second. And that's through for a hit. And that runner will go no further than
Picking
second.
up where they
as
left
there
off
are
the last
2
game.
aboard now.
Hey, 2 runners on after back-to-back singles right there. They are in prime position to put the
Damn,
first
those are the
run on
guys that got to get out in this moment too.
Now a bluff back to second as he'll just hold on to it.
This is my catcher's sign there. Sorry.
Into the box now, Jose Ramirez, as he looks at a fastball that misses off the plate for ball 1. And he's definitely off to a fast start in the early part of the season. Ready with the 1-0. Pulled toward right center field.
Pitch.
Reyes is to his left as he puts it away in the alley for the first out of the inning.
Batting fourth, the right fielder, number 32, Franmil Reyes.
And that'll bring in Franmil Reyes, hoping to stay hot. He had a couple of hits, including a home run yesterday. First pitch of the at-bat on its way. Yanked the slider across that time, laid off for a ball.
Shit.
And this is sliced foul into the stands in right, out of play.
You're lucky if you get 1 pitch a night right down the middle. Cannot be late on that fastball.
He's set. Here comes the 1-1. Good breaking ball there, laid off for the second strike.
Well, he's in a bit of hot water in this first inning, but if he can start throwing his slider effectively like that, he has a lot better chance of settling into this game.
And that's high for a ball. It's 2-2. Time for a look at our umpires in this one. Working the plate is Carl Dixon.
Hey, D-Row, one of the things you have to be aware of as a hitter from Carl Dixon, he'll call that high strike.
Yeah, he will. So you better be on top of your game with 2 strikes, because if they elevate, good chance Carl Dixon's punching your ticket.
He's set. Here's the 2-2. Popped him up.
Dude.
Scope moving to his left. 2 down.
You guys notice since the patch they show that little halo around the players even on auto fielding?
The left fielder, number 30,
I haven't figured out how to turn it off.
So here's Tyler Naquin. Great chance to drive in a run here in the early going. Trying to hang a 0. Here's the pitch. A fast.
So he has a blue zone, right? Just on like the outside middle of the plate. And don't focus too much on just pitching to the blue zones all the time, because they'll pick up on it. I try to save them for situations where I need them, like right now.
Ball here as he'll take a look at ball 1. 1-0.
Like, this is probably the most impactful at bat Tyler Naquin will have the whole game. I'm banking on that. So I'm trying to stick around there, but again, not every pitch.
On the corner away, a ball and a strike. Looking at his lifetime numbers, Naquin carries a hitting line just over the 280 plateau. The 1-1. Fastball in the dirt, and that's going to get away.
First balls we've had in a while.
So now 2 men in scoring position.
That's one of the reasons, though, I lowered the pitcher consistency. It was a little too easy.
Hernandez at third. Freeman on at second with 2 down.
Part of baseball, right?
Fastball is looked at for strike 2.
Hey, it's looking like he might be able to get out of this one after giving up 2 singles early.
Rogers is also a much worse defensive catcher.
Here's one that misses inside, and the count's run full now, 3-2.
So,
some pitchers fall into the trap of giving in on 3-2 because they don't want to walk the guy. But with the base open, it's not the end of the world if you do. You still need to make a quality pitch.
That's lifted the other way out to left.
Throw it if it's out of the zone,
Stewart
whatever.
Is there, and he puts this one away for the.
If he swings at it, it's probably going to be a weak fly ball, just like that.
Third out, so a great job there of working out a potential trouble. Indians nothing, Tigers coming to bat. More to come after this on MLB Network. Carlos Carrasco, the right-hander from Venezuela, gets the starting nod in this one. Dan, any thoughts?
Hey, every team needs a pitcher like this one here.
Close to the infield fly roll on that. It was in the outfield, though.
His numbers aren't going to blow you away. Career ERA just under 4. But one thing he does, he takes the ball every 5 days.
Yeah, he's got to go. I mean, nothing personal.
And gives his team a chance to win every single time he goes out there. He'll be fun to watch in this one here today.
But the way it's implemented in this game is pretty brutal, and the fact that it was
stepping in, Victor Reyes. He'll lead things off here in the bottom half of the first.
Pretty good infield.
The pitch. So, fellas, this Indians ball club, as they begin play here this afternoon, they've been in a nice little groove, winning 3 of their last 4 games.
Yeah, Matty, I know we're getting ready for game 2, but yesterday, man, road trip got off to a great start. They pounded the baseball, pitched, played defense. This team comes in riding high into game 2.
Throw just does beat him to the bag, as that was pretty close.
Batting second, the third baseman, Jamer Candelario.
So 1 away here with the bases empty, and into bat next it'll be Jamer Candelario. First pitch of the at-bat.
Ball that's outside.
Well, that backdoor breaking ball just missed right there. It's a very effective pitch. If you can hit the outside corner of that pitch, it's unhittable.
The 1-0 delivery. And he won't bite at that one either. It's 2-0.
He draws a lot of balls. Right? We talked
He's
about
a
this
veteran out on that mound. He understands he has to establish that inside fastball to open up the outer half of the plate.
A lot of times I'll take 2-0 pitches with a guy like this. Nobody on base, because I know he's probably going to see more balls. So.
And he'll lay the fastball in here to get the count back to 2-1.
Hey, it looks like this guy's going to work in the upper part of the strike zone. It'll be interesting to see if this lineup can adjust to the way he pitches.
Set to deliver on 2-1. There's a swing and a high deep drive headed for the right field corner. But this one will bend foul. Had plenty of distance, though, as it landed in the upper deck. And he fouls this one off.
This is with fouls at 0, right?
1 out, nobody on. A swing and a miss. He offered it a ball way outside the strike zone for out number 2.
Talk about blowing it by a guy. Geez, I mean, that fastball was way behind him when the swing came through the zone. I have to think he was looking for something off speed, and he just couldn't pull the trigger on that fastball.
And that'll bring up the veteran Miguel Cabrera, as he'll take a tough pitch on the outside part of the plate for strike 1. He's ready for his first at-bat of this early season contest. The 0-1 delivery. Here's a late swing and a miss, strike two.
Okay, it's a curveball.
Ooh, that's a good pitch to take a hack at right there. Change up in the zone. He'd like to have that one back.
Trying to get Cabrera to chase there, but it's 1-2. 2 out, nobody on. Hit out towards second. And Cabrera's going to have himself a base hit.
You don't see that too much in today's game. Most guys, it doesn't matter what the count is. They're looking to line them, drive the ball out of the ballpark. Not the case here. Good 2-strike adjustment, able to punch a ground ball through a hole for a single.
So this is a really good example here, right, of the sliders working. So reaction, fielder reaction and fielder speed are both down a notch. On default, pitcher might react to that. Fielder speed and reaction, he's definitely getting that on default. See how his reaction is just a little delayed? But it allows, you know, balls that don't have to be scorched, they can still get through. Miguel Cabrera hits hits like this his whole career, especially with runners on base, right? So that's just 2 strikes, just taking a decent swing at something. That's what you should see. A good hitter is able to, you know, Cameron Maybin took that swing, it'd probably be an out, right?
Here's Jonathan Scope now as he takes a cold strike at the knees. It's 0-1. And he's looking to get it going, off to a bit of a slow start this year. And it's 0-2 to Scope.
0-2.
2 mid-90s
Totally
fastballs and you're
misreading
down
his
0-2.
breaking pitches.
This is where you got to take a deep
Or his
breath and
fastball, I
pot
should say.
commit.
Thinking they're
You're either
breaking
all
pitches.
in on another fastball or you're finding a way to stay back to attack something
Outside,
off
that's
speed.
ball.
Count is 1-2 now. Carrasco pauses. Here's the pitch.
How come I'm not seeing, why aren't we seeing the, like his pitch count stuff? It's like suddenly disappeared.
2-2 to count.
Well, this has been a good at-bat. He's now worked the count full to 3-2. It allows the runner on first to be on the move with 2 away.
Working for the punch out and the offering. Oh, and it eats him up a bit. And the recovery's too late as he's able to beat the throw to first.
Batting fifth, the first baseman, DJ
Smoked it.
Lowe.
Here's C.J. Cron now.
Oh,
Rolled slowly down the third
again,
baseline.
fouls at 0,
But a
right?
foul
Still
ball
able to
here,
foul off
0-1.
pitches. That felt perfect. I swung way too early at that.
And he takes strike 2.
21 pitches.
0-2. Here it is.
Oof.
A swing and a miss as he chased with 2 strikes, and that will retire the side. Tigers
So,
strand a pair,
both pitchers
and
got
this
it
is
down.
still a 0-0 ball game. Striding forward now is the DH, Domingo Santana. Day off for him yesterday, but back out there for this one. First pitch on its way. And that misses inside 1-0. Santana, the former Seattle Mariner, he became a member of this team after signing as a free agent earlier this season.
Yeah, he didn't have an opportunity to really get acclimated to this ball club. Showing up during the season is not always easy, opening the doors to a big league clubhouse and trying to get to know your teammates. The best way to get to know them is to go out and produce.
Throw to first will be in time, and there's one gone here to start the second.
Batting seven, the first baseman, Carlos Santana.
Hey, what's up, Sweet Lou?
Here's Carlos Santana now, and he's definitely off to a fast start in the early part of the season.
Connor asks, what's my philosophy on using the different types of swings? I use normal 99% of the time. I never use power. I mean, a handful of times the entire season, maybe, just for fun. Contact, if it's like bottom of the 10th, tie game, runner on third, one out, something like that, I might use contact swing, but again, really, really rare, super rare. Alright, sorry about that. Just checking comments and whatnot. So one out here. Carlos Santana. A guy I've had in my franchises before. Super good player.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes.
Aye. 0-1's the count.
No score here as we play inning number 2.
Got this in the dirt here.
Barely able to make contact. Down 0-2 now.
Want this way outside.
A little bit off the outside. It's 1-2.
Hey, I get it. He wants to set up that breaking ball down and away, but that 0-2 fastball wasn't even close.
Now a half swing, but it's strike 3 anyway, says the home plate umpire, and that's out number 2.
That's a hard guy to strike out.
So
get
coming
him
to the
looking,
plate,
we'll take it.
Oscar Mercado.
Really nice
He had a
pitch.
couple of hits in yesterday's contest. Here's the first pitch to him.
Fulmer looking like his
Bases
own
are empty
self
here
here.
with 2 men out.
No fly ball is all I want.
And it's fouled away.
He's basically
Into the
at his
windup.
toes.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Sent toward first.
There we go. Sometimes they swing at it.
And he'll step on the bag himself, and the inning is over. So they're held in check here this half of the inning. We'll go to the bottom half of inning number 2, and we are tied 0-0.
Chuck, it's a
Here's Cameron Maben
Chuck's asking,
now.
could you use dynamic
Battles
difficulty with
Carlos
these? Yeah, and sure.
Carrasco, just
Try
a
it.
1 for 9. He's also gone down
See
on
why not?
strikes 5 times. First pitch of the at-bat.
Ball 1, no strike.
One-0 count. Here it is. Maben, originally from the Tar Heel state of North Carolina. He was a first-round pick back in 2005.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
has
the
turned
ambulance
himself
to
into
Detroit
a
there,
really
onto the
nice
show.
ball player. I wouldn't put him on a superstar level, but you know what? They didn't
drop,
miss
it's
with
gonna
this
double.
pick either. You go into high rounds and you carve out a career the way this guy has.
Found the
Nice
spot there.
pick.
Not a great
Not
swing,
in
but
time, and he's in there with a double. Wow, this is a perfect example of a wily veteran doing what needs to be done to deliver for his team.
Yeah,
Had a
just
bit of a
watch
shift
this
on him.
swing. Instead of trying to do too much with it and pull it, he stays inside the ball and is able to smack it to the opposite field for a double.
Stepping up to the plate, Jake Rogers. He comes in after a day of rest yesterday, so we'll see if it did him any good.
nobody out. Definitely trying to hit it to the right here. So again, just somewhere over there.
He's set. Here it comes. And
Yeah,
that misses
pitch
for
like
ball
that.
1.
On an outside pitch here, you want to swing late. This game does a
No
good
one
job
out
of
with a runner at
replicating
second.
that.
Ground
too
ball
early.
sent back up the middle. He's got it. And there's one away.
That was the perfect pitch to do it.
Batting in, the left fielder, number 14.
set to get his day started, Kristen Stewart. And it's been a real struggle for him with the bat so far this year, looking to get things turned around in a hurry. First offering on its way. Hit hard to the right side. Santana's got it, and he'll take this one to the bag for the out, but meanwhile the runner will move up 90 feet to third base.
Batting ninth, the shortstop, Nico Goodrum.
In now, Nico Goodrum. He was hitless in yesterday's shutout loss, as were many of his teammates. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes.
Nope.
A fastball here as he'll take a look at ball 1-0. No score at this point, but a two-out hit could get a runner in from third. Two 2-0 now. Here's the 2-0. Looked like that swing was in slow motion. 2-1. Two and one. Here it is. Lifted the other way out to left center. Long run for the center fielder, and the run will score as the Tigers are off to a 1-0 lead. And he is into second base with an RBI double.
Hey, that's not a bad first milestone. 100th career RBI, Dero.
Yeah, after your first original knockdown, probably for you, your first strikeout, your first bomb, you want to start putting some zeros on the back end of these numbers. 100th ribby, nice milestone right there.
At the plate now, Victor Reyes batting left-handed here as he takes a look at strike one. Now this is driven out to deep right center. This could be trouble. And that gets down and ought to be good for extra bases. They're going to extend their lead as the runner scores from second.
Now batting.
And now time will be called here as you see the pitching coach making his way out to the mound to pay a quick visit. The next batter, Jamer Candelario, as he'll take a look at a slider here that finds the zone for strike one. Carrasco pauses. Here's the 0-1. That's taken. Now it's 0-2.
Well, you can see he's coming right at this guy, just pounding the ball in the strike zone. He certainly has the advantage now. This guy hasn't even swung the bat yet.
Back up the middle. And that'll get through into center field for a base hit. And that'll bring home run number 3. It's now a 3-0 cushion.
You know what I like right there, Dan, is the batter's approach. Not trying to do too much, just taking it right back up the chute again, staying within himself, and just knowing that anything to the outfield gets him an RBI.
Now, that's a good piece of hitting. That's a great point, Dero. I think a lot of times hitters go up there trying to do a little bit too much. Sometimes you just have to go ahead and hit the ball where it's pitched, and a good job and a run batted in.
1 ball, no strikes the count. Three runs already home here. And he gets him to pop it up on the right side of the infield. Hernandez will put this one away, and the side is retired. So 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and a man left on. We'll go now to the top of the third. The Tigers lead it 3-0. Stepping up now, Roberto Perez. He's ready for his first at-bat of this early season contest. Now the pitch.
Michael Fulmer, sometimes you can tell your pitchers are just on, like they just feel right. hit their spots a lot. He's really, really, knock on wood, he's pitching really well.
0-1, here it comes. Pulled the fastball down a little too much there. That's ball one. Breaking ball that time that misses out of the zone. Now the 2-1 pitch. Hit in the air down the right field line, but this will wind up being a foul ball. Here now the 2-2.
We got 3-2.
You could pretty much book it that a fastball's coming. A challenge fastball right here. He cannot allow the 9-hole hitter to get on base with the top of the order looming.
And he lays off there, ball 4. So the leadoff man is on here to begin inning number 3.
That was a great battle right there. He tried to get him to chase, but he laid off some really tough pitches and got a walk. Got to tip the cap to the batter that time.
Stepping in and ready for another shot, Cesar Hernandez. He'll swing it from the left side right here.
One of the things this guy would like to do from the left side is swing it a little bit better against right-handed pitching. This guy has decent numbers, but not great numbers against right-handed pitchers.
Here's one that misses high. It's 1-1. Has a look, now the pitch.
I got to count 2-2.
A runner at first with no outs here. And he takes strike 3 called on the fastball. 1 gone.
Some guys with big arms like this, they're just chuckers. They just throw the ball as hard as they can, and where it ends up isn't that big of a concern, but that wasn't the case there. That was a very well-pitched fastball right on the corner at the knees. Good luck hitting that one.
So now to the plate, Mike Freeman, as he'll take a look at a high strike that time. It's 0-1. 1 for 1 after a single his first time up. Hit on the ground out to short. That's through for a base hit, his second of the ball game.
Boy, it's so frustrating as a pitcher. You make a quality pitch on the inside half of the plate right there.
By the way, if outfield arm speed was at default, he's probably out.
Try to bust him in, D-Row, and he fights
And that would have been really silly.
it off the other way.
Yeah, you tip your hat to the pitcher right there. He executed his pitch, but nice job by the offensive player fighting. It doesn't matter what it looks like. A knock's a knock.
At the plate, Jose Ramirez, as he'll look at a slider that runs in too far for ball 1. Flied out in his first at-bat, so make him 0 for 1 so far.
Ooh, nice bad pitch.
Into right field, that's a base hit. And they will hold that runner over at third as he'll move up only 90 feet, but the bases are loaded with 1 away.
Boy, after that base knock right there, D-Row, he extends his hitting streak to 7 games.
Yeah, and you can tell he's made some necessary adjustments at the plate. Anytime you're getting a knock every day of the week, you're doing things right. He's keeping that front shoulder tucked, staying inside the ball, not trying to do too much.
50th pitch of the game on its way. 2-0.
No fair.
Too high, and it's 3-0.
This is a spot you'd like to be in as a good hitter. Runners in scoring position and count leverage in your favor.
3-0 pitch is taken, strike 1.
You maybe get 2 pitches a game where all the guesswork goes out the window. This is certainly that situation.
And that misses. Ball 4. A run will come in to score.
That's better than a grand slam or a double.
And it's times like these that a pitcher feels awfully lonely. I can see why he didn't want to be too aggressive. Last thing he wants to do is give up a grand slam to a dangerous hitter, but walking in a run is painful too. And here he is again, still with the bases loaded.
Now time is called here as we'll get a trip to the mound.
Now I pitched that blue spot last time, right? so I got to be careful not to do it again here.
First pitch of the at-bat on its way.
And I just did.
Now a slider, and he gets ahead of him
trying
here.
to put that
0-1. Naquin
kinda
is a
low over
very
the middle.
well-regarded defensive outfielder. Used to be that fielders were evaluated mostly by the eyeball test and simple stats like fielding percentage. But of course, these days, there are many more advanced ways that help determine a guy's work in the field, and in his case, he shines in many ways.
You know, Matty, for me, I think he does pass the eyeball test. I know you have to look at all the numbers and the analytics to really appreciate a ball player like this. But man, does he come to work every day and play hard.
Catch made here in medium deep right center, and the runner's breaking from third. And the tag will come too late as he scores to make it a 3-2 game now.
Obviously, he's hoping for more up there with the bases loaded, but you can't be too upset with a sac fly.
Digging in for his second at-bat, Domingo Santana, as he'll look to bring home that tying run from second with a base hit into the outfield. Looking to minimize the damage here. A fastball off the plate away. It's ball one.
He's already walked 2 in this inning already. This guy just can't seem to find the strike zone.
Lifted in the air toward the line and right. But this is just going to wind up being a foul ball. Popped him up. Crone in foul ground. He makes the play, and that'll end the inning. So it's 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. We'll head now to the home half of inning number 3. Detroit is out in front, 3-2. Bottom of the third now. Digging in, Jonathan Scope.
The second baseman, Jonathan.
Here comes the first pitch.
Shocked he didn't let it fly right there. Usually you're looking for a fastball elevated to get the party started.
Set to deliver the 0-1.
Oh, that's it.
And this ball runs away for ball 2. 2-1.
Big sweeping breaking ball right there. Good pitch. But if he wants to get him to swing at it, he'll have to bring it in a little bit closer to the strike zone.
Swung on and missed. That strike 2.
I think getting the leadoff man in every inning is important as a pitcher. When you're coming off an inning that you really labored through, it makes all the difference mentally.
Slow roller down the third baseline, but a foul ball as it holds it 2-2. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss on the slider, and that's out number 1.
Really good late bite on that slider right there. The best ones have that late action that just darts at the last minute. They're so tough to get the bat on, and when you've got that good slider going, it's a great strikeout pitch.
So that'll bring up C.J. Crone as he grounds one briskly to short. Oh, and he can't come up with it. And the throw won't be in time as he'll be able to beat out the recovery throw at first.
Infielders are taught from the time they hold the glove that you've got to play the ball and not let the ball play you. You can see here that this one just ate him up, and he couldn't recover in time.
Runner at first following the error. And standing in is the veteran outfielder, Cameron Maben. First pitch on its way.
Hey, the way this guy on the mound's been struggling to find the zone, I'm not mad at the guy taking a pitch.
Left center, base hit. While the throw pulls him off the bag.
Mosey on in there, Crone.
The catcher, number 34, Jake Rogers.
Stepping in now, Jake Rogers. He swings and lines it to left, but pretty much right at the left fielder as he takes it in for the second out.
Now batting, number 14.
Up next steps Kristen Stewart. He's 0 for 1 after grounding out in his only trip to the plate so far. Good lead off at second there. Now the pitch. Lifted into center field. And the 2-out threat will not come to pass as the inning is over. Tigers strand a pair, but they still lead it 3-2. Back from Comerica Park in Detroit as we send it down to Heidi Watney.
Matt, I talked with manager Terry Francona during the break about his thoughts on the Indians' hitters to this point. And flat out, he was very pleased with the quality of their at-bats. It's still pretty early in the game, but they've seen a lot of pitches already. And he thinks the 2 runs they've pushed across so far is just the beginning, given the quality of the at-bats they're putting together.
Good stuff, Heidi. Thanks. 1 ball, no strikes to count. A ball and a strike.
Great job of doubling up with a fastball inside. A lot of times you'll see a pitcher go in there, but they won't go back in there a second time. This guy's not afraid to pitch inside.
2-1 to the Indians' first baseman. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Tried to bury one down and away, but it's a full count now, 3-2. Fouled off.
Almost snuck it in there. Let me shake him off, and we're going to throw the slider here.
And he lays off there, ball 4. So the leadoff man is on here to begin stanza number 4.
And that's what you want from your leadoff hitter. Show some great patience and discipline, making the pitcher labor to start the game. The result
Jeremy,
is a leadoff walk and a chance to make some early noise.
Just try to focus on other areas like
now in the box,
drafting,
Oscar
trading
Mercado
veterans,
comes into this at bat 0 for 1 in the ball game. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. Oh and 1. Here it comes.
A lot of late swings. They're looking for those breaking pitches, which is interesting because they're throwing a ton of fastballs.
Before the 0-2, a look to first, and he'll get back in standing. Nothing in 2 count, and the pitch.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Trying to pick up that outside corner, but this misses, and it's back to even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2 to the Indian center fielder.
That was another good pitch and a tough call that could have gone either way. He couldn't get him to bite on it again, so the count's gone from 0-2 to 3-2.
A lot of pitches.
Another full count pitch home.
Oh,
and he lays off there, ball 4. So back-to-back
Three
walks
off
have
there.
him in
That's
business
just
here with
4
nobody
walks,
out.
And this is the kind of thing that's been happening to him all season long. He'll cruise for a while, hitting his spots, and all of a sudden the wheels come off and he struggles. We'll see if he can recover here.
First pitch of the at-bat. Here's a shot to left field and deep. Look at this. Gone.
Right where I wanted to pitch
So a
to.
3-run blast to straightaway left. Second home run early in the year, and it's now 5-3.
Well, with no outs, you can afford to give up a single, but you can't afford to give up a 3-run homer. He just caught too much of the plate. Now he's back to the drawing board. No outs, and the inning is already an ugly one.
The batter number 7, second baseman, Cesar Hernandez.
Standing in now, Cesar Hernandez. As he looks at a fastball on the inside corner for strike one.
Hey, it's been a little bit of a rough outing for this guy in this one so far. And one thing you can look at if you want to get really picky, less than 60% of his first pitches have been for strikes.
1-1 the count. 2 balls and a strike to Cesar Hernandez.
It's one thing to get hit around, but it's far worse when you're getting yourself into trouble by not throwing strikes. Every pitcher's been there, but it doesn't make it any less frustrating or unacceptable.
Into the windup. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. On a good changeup, a swing and a miss, and he's set down on strikes for the second time today.
Well, it's been a rough series for him at the plate so far. That's 4 strikeouts in the first 2 games, so this pitching staff clearly has him figured out.
In now, Mike Freeman. Yes, he'll take a look at ball 1. 2 hits in 2 trips for him thus far. Inside, and he falls behind the hitter now, 2-0.
And this is why he's struggling right here. He's not able to pound the strike zone early in the count. These guys are finding themselves in serious count leverage situations, and good hitters aren't going to miss.
3-0 to him now.
Oh, man. Good balls.
And now a pitch on the way. Boy, not close again. His 3rd walk of the inning as that misses for ball 4.
What's the saying? When you find yourself in a hole, the first thing you should do is stop digging. Well, the guy on the bump obviously hasn't heard that one.
Digging in once again, Jose Ramirez. 1 for 2 on his line so far in the game.
I mean, what a diamond in the rough Jose Ramirez has been for Terry Francona and the Cleveland Indians. This guy burst on the scene in 2016, just absolutely set that lineup on fire. They were looking for a guy to bail out Michael Brantley and the production they would miss from him in the lineup, and Jose Ramirez filled that admirably.
Good pitches to see that. Let him go.
First pitch on its way. Pulled toward right center field. Center fielder giving chase. He gets there to put it away, and tagging is the runner from first. And this will prove to be a heads-up play at first as he tags up and moves into scoring position now.
Okay.
The right fielder, number 32.
So next it'll be the 4-hole hitter for the Tribe, Franmil Reyes. Runner in scoring position with 2 gone. First pitch of the at-bat on its way. And a ball, 1-0. 5 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error in the ballgame for Cleveland so far. Line drive, base hit into the left center field gap.
Not quite a tag out.
The runner from second crosses the plate.
The left fielder, number 20, Tyler Lincoln.
Daniel Bard answers the call from the pen here in the 4th as they didn't get the outing they were hoping for from their starter.
Ball.
And next will be the versatile Tyler Naquin. 1-0 the count. Sent on the ground out to second. Taken in by Scope. And not too shabby out of the pen. Takes just 2 pitches to get the ground ball, and that ends the inning. But 4 runs score in the inning. 3 coming right here on the 3-run home run. Bottom of the 4th coming up. It's the Indians 6 and the Tigers 3. Ready to go for the last half of the inning. Trying to pick things up where he left off. Nico Goodrum. An RBI double is what he was credited with his first time around.
Well, he got a good pitch to hit last time up. Looked for it up in the zone and didn't miss it. Those are the pitches you only get maybe once an AB, maybe once a game, maybe once a week. So he certainly capitalized on it last time.
Ball one to start the at-bat. In for a strike. It's 1-1. And he turns on one, sending it high and deep to right. And that is off the wall. And he will pull into second with a leadoff double.
Well, that's his second double of the game, and I thought it might have enough to get out of here. Banged it off the wall, and he's looking really good at this.
Reading your guys' comments, I also missed with the Tigers one time. I missed the wild card by 1 game. I remember streaming that last game of the year. We had to win, and Baltimore or something like that had to lose, or yeah, because Baltimore ended up winning the World Series in that season, and we were winning. It was like 4-1 or something. I don't know. And like the 7th inning, all of a sudden they flashed the score on the ticker, and it says Baltimore won. And it was like, oh no, like the season is over. So I missed it by 1 game on the last game of the year.
Maybe getting a little jumpy in the box, so he steps out and asks for time. And now this at-bat just doesn't want to get off the ground as he'll step out for a second time. Into the box now, Victor Reyes, as he'll take a look at a pitch too low. It's ball 1. A hit and 2 tries for him so far. Now the 1-0. Tries to bunt his way on here, but this is a foul ball. A runner at second, nobody out. And it's 2-1 to the Tigers' leadoff hitter.
We're starting to see a lot more balls from him now, and that's a direct result of him getting hit around pretty good. He's trying to do something different, and it's resulting in him not attacking the strike zone anymore.
The 2-2 is a swing and a miss. That's strike 3. Runner in scoring position at second with 1 away. And into bat next, it'll be Jeimer Candelario. First pitch of the at-bat. And that's inside for a ball. 1-0. 3 runs, 8 hits, and no errors in the ballgame for the Tigers. And a fastball in there for a strike. 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike.
From the belt, kicks and deals. Tries to change up on him there, but it's a ball. 2-1. Has a look, now the pitch.
Good pitch.
Started to go.
Yeah.
They'll look for the appeal down to
Felt like
third
they did.
and ring him up, says the third base
Back
umpire. He's gone.
Now, after back-to-back strikeouts, he's got a real good chance of making that leadoff double pretty much meaningless. He's made some good pitches, and these hitters have really failed driving him in or at least getting him over.
Think single in situations like this.
Into the box, Miguel Cabrera, and he's a bit tardy there on the first pitch fastball. It's 0-1. He's working on a 1-for-2 game so far. Hit the other way out toward right field. And he'll get there in plenty of time to put this one away, and that ends the inning. 1 left for Detroit. They're still doubled up. It's 6-3. At the plate, Domingo Santana. He's 0-for-2 in the ballgame so far.
Domingo Santana.
And the pitch. And that one's in on the hands to start the inning. It's ball one. Santana in front, 2 balls and no strikes. This one's down to third. Fielded cleanly. And the 5th inning will start with a ground out, 1 away.
Up next for Cleveland, the first baseman, Carlos Santana.
Not a great day, huh?
One man out now in the Cleveland 5th. And that'll bring in one of the best on-base percentage players in the game, Carlos Santana. And they start him out away with a called strike.
You know, go back to that question earlier about, you know, how do you keep focused how would you keep focused in a franchise that's potentially rebuilt a really bad team like the Giants or the Tigers? And I think one of it, again, is just flipping your perspective a little bit. It sounds corny, but, like, you know, focus on things that will be important in a franchise like that, like cultivating like your training, right? Making sure that your players are in the right particular training to kind of put them in a position. So it's almost like you're going to spend more time micromanaging and things like that. But you know, again, it's just about perspective. Yeah, it's tricky because you're probably not going to be in a big wild card, you know, thrilling chase or something like that. But again, just that perspective, and I think it does help. That's one of the reasons why I picked. If I was going to do kind of a rebuild, it was going to be with the team that I really care about, my own, you know, hometown Tigers. So
bases are empty, 1 man out. Started the breaking ball far too inside that time. Laid off for ball 1.
I'm out.
A ball and 2 strikes
1 ball,
now.
2 strikes, down.
I think it's about time to choke up on that bat and get that foot down. He's awfully tardy right now.
Ball, that's out.
And he lays off a pitch outside as they draw
compared.
even at 2-2. And now a pitch on the way. This one sinks low and a touch outside. It's a full count, 3-2. Left side, but well foul. And this one misses to Santana, and he'll take that free pass down to first.
The center fielder, number 35, Oscar Mercado.
Stepping in, Oscar Mercado.
I actually do use auto, at least as a default for training, and then if there's something I want someone to work on, I'll go through and flip it around. Yeah, it's probably not the brightest. Like, I probably should give that a quick look. It doesn't take very long, because you could even do a kind of positional training in a way, right? Just like have all your starters work on this for this 2-week period or something like that. Get the bullpen going here. Go find this another stopper. Use him. I guess just in case we need an out, we'll go back to good old gas can Nick Ramirez this year. You need double play on the first pitch here.
Here comes the first pitch.
Ball 1, no strike.
The 1-0 home.
Ball, that's
Umpire.
off the plate.
Strikes.
Runner at first here, 1 man out. And this one's over at the knees, 2-1.
Gutsy pitch right there. 2-0 changeup for a strike. Good call by the catcher. Great execution by the pitcher.
Hit down the line at first.
That's what I wanted, a late swing on the ground, but oh.
Hoping to send him packing. Pitch on its way.
We could see the runner in motion here on a 3-2 count with 1 out. There's a pretty good chance he's going to get a pitch to swing at, and if not, it's ball 4 anyways.
And the slider gets him swinging, 2 gone.
They will never send a
Boy,
runner
that's
on
really
3-2
disappointing
unless
for a
it's 2
guy that
outs.
has wheels,
Unfortunately,
right?
they should.
All he wants
The
to do is
announcer's
get
right.
on base and take advantage of the strength of his game, which is his speed.
I've
But
never
with a
seen it.
strikeout right there,
A lot of teams do
can't
it to
get
play a
on
double
first
play.
base if you strike out.
Yeah, this guy hit a 3-run home run last time.
At the plate, Roberto Perez, as he'll watch a slider that stays inside for ball one. And if you remember, I'm sure he does, he hit a round tripper back in the fourth.
3-run homer. That sucks.
The 1-0 home. A runner on first with 2 away. A 1-2 count to the Indians catcher.
He's looking pretty passive here, hitting with a chance to drive in a run. You're going to have to make something happen with 2 strikes now.
To 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Fouled away.
Swing early. Let's try this slider.
Now another 2-2. He chases out of the zone for strike 3, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. 1 left for the Tribe as they're unable to add to their 6-3 lead. Bottom of the inning now. Next will be the cleanup hitter, Jonathan Scope. He was sat down on strikes in his last at-bat.
Let's think for the next inning here. What we got? We got a lefty coming up. It's pretty bad against lefties. Gosh, I mean, it's gonna be the 6th inning, but I might put in Cedeno, especially if we make it close. Otherwise, I'm okay with Buck Farmer.
From the stretch. Line toward right center. And that's in for his 2nd hit of the afternoon.
Outside of home runs, nothing fires me up more than watching a good baseball player drive the ball at the opposite field. Talking about hitting the inside half of the baseball, that's exactly what happened right there. And when we say inside half of the baseball, imagine the ball coming to a complete stop halfway between home plate and the pitcher's mound, and then cutting that baseball in half and highlighting the inside half. That's where you're trying to take the knob of your bat or the hands to that spot and carve the inside half of the baseball with power.
C.J. Cron is in for the 3rd time here as he watches one that misses low. It's a ball and no strikes. The 1-0 home.
Oof, that would have been a double play. Good pitch.
Nope.
And he lays off this one down and in for ball 2. There's a swing, and he sends a ball high in the air into left field. Naquin looks up. Gone into the home bullpen for a home run. A 2-run job for C.J. Cron. First home run of the campaign for him, and this will make things interesting at this point. It's now a 6-5 game.
Yeah, everyone in the stadium, including the guy in the mound, knew it was just a matter of time until this guy cranked one out of here. Well, that's the first one of the year, and many more are sure to follow.
The right fielder, number 4, Cameron.
To the plate now, Cameron Maybin, as he can't catch up on a fastball at the letters, and it's strike 1. 2 hits in 2 trips for him thus far. Comes set, and the 0-1. Grounder down the line at 3rd. Ramirez is there. Throw on to 1st. So a good comeback there as he gets the 1st out of the inning.
The catcher, number 34, Jake Rogers.
Now batting, Jake Rogers. No hits to this point. First offering on its way. There's a good fastball on the outside corner as he'll take a look at strike one. And he takes this one high, 1-1. Still only one out in the inning. Lofted in the air out toward right center. Long run for the right fielder. He gets there and makes the play for the second out of the inning.
Now batter, number 14.
So bases are empty here with two gone, and that means Kristen Stewart will dig in at the plate.
Yeah, Cron's really a low risk move by Avila for sure.
From the stretch, here's the pitch.
0-1's the count.
Carrasco pauses. 0-1 on its way. Check swing, but he held up in time. Ball one.
You know he wants that on the mound, especially if it would have made the count 0-2. Didn't get it, though, so now you have to make another quality pitch on 1-1.
And able to lay off the fastball away here. 2-1 now. And he can't catch the corner here, so he's behind 3-1. This is pulled into right. A dive, and oh, he can't hang on. And they're going to hold him to a single here as they do a nice job of getting it back in quickly.
You know, some of the changes I've been making have been user hitting, and it seems like I either have a game like this where I'm just, you know, again, 11 hits, 5 runs, 5th inning, or I'll have like the last game where it's 0 runs. I think we had 5 hits the whole game or something like that, and just trying to find a balance. So that's kind of the big focus area right now. I feel like pitching's pretty solid. Again, as long as you're honest, you just saw. I mean, I've walked 5 or 6 guys already this game. So as long as you're honest about that, and I'm not even honest, I'm not even trying to do it. I'm just willing to throw balls out of the zone in any count. That's really all it is. But again, I think just trying to bring in hitting a little bit, and you know, I'll see comments like someone in the slider thread today was talking about like, oh, I'm killing the ball, I'm Colorado, and that's tough to balance because, you know, well, yeah, you're Colorado, they have a good lineup and they play in that ballpark with, you know, no gravity basically, and then you have a team like me where I'm the Tigers, right? I mean, we're bad, so it's like trying to balance and try to weigh all of that. That's kind of the big challenge where I'm at now, which is why there's not been a delay in like a 1.1 or 1.5, whatever you want to call it, but just taking my time with it. Because again, 1.0 is playing really well, so I've messed around with a couple different tweaks here and there. So
He's different coming out of spring training. Some guys get off to torrid starts, some guys struggle. This is one that struggled, but maybe that single gets him going.
yeah.
At the plate now, Nico Goodrum, as he'll take a look at a slider that can't make it back to the corner. It's ball one.
This is where you got to take stock in this situation. Adjust your batting gloves and realize you need a gapper to score this guy from first. If nothing less, pass the baton to the guy behind you and keep the line moving.
This is skied out toward right. Right fielder giving chase. He's got it as the tying run is left on base. The Tigers do get a couple, however, on this 2-run home run. We're through 5 here this afternoon. It's the Indians 6 and the Tigers 5. So the Indians lineup flips over, and to the plate, Cesar Hernandez. And to start out the inning, it looks like they've decided to stick with the same reliever out there, Dan.
They have, Matt. I think the way he pitched the last inning kind of inspired that. But it's not uncommon for relief pitchers to have troubles after they sit and watch their guys swing the bat a bit. We'll see if he stays as sharp as he was before.
Xavier Cedeno is into the ballgame now as he'll make his 5th appearance of the season here. He's set and the pitch.
No, that's low.
One 0 count. Here it is. Now he'll try to bunt his way on base here, but this will roll foul. He's set. Here comes the 1-1. Struck him out. Struck him out again, I should say. His third punch out of the game.
Oh, man, he's been absolutely getting overmatched at the plate the last couple of games. That's his 5th strikeout in this series alone. So clearly this...
So that was a good call there by the catcher. Back-to-back curveballs, which is his primary pitch. And you can see here, even though the fastball is only 90 miles an hour, he was really late. And that ball is past him by the time he swings. The art of pitching, they say, has everything to do with just disrupting a hitter's timing. That's it. It's the most important part.
Standing in now, Mike Freeman, as he takes a fastball off the plate for a ball 1-0. Cedeno is adjusting to the new normal as MLB now mandates that relievers reach the end of an inning or face 3 or more batters before being replaced. And for a one-time lefty specialist like this, that's a big change. The 1-1 home.
I got 2-1 the count.
And he couldn't get on top of it as this has popped up behind shortstop. Goodrum backs up and takes care of it. 2 away.
So that was a high fastball. Popped it up in the infield. That tells me, again, they're looking for that curveball. Lower in the zone. It's just like when you play someone online, right? They will look for your tendencies.
In now for Cleveland.
And the game will be honest about
Ramirez. It was a flyout for him in his last
Try not to pitch the same exact way to hitters. And I don't mean just through the lineup, but I mean like when you're facing Francisco Lindor, don't pitch him the same way all 3 at bats. It will burn him.
First pitch of the at bat on its way.
Hey.
So throw a trash curveball here on purpose.
The 0-1 pitch. Takes a pitch high and away for ball 1.
Just to keep them honest a little bit.
And now a curveball gets low and in the dirt for a ball. It's 2-1. 2 out, nobody on. Lifted down the line in left. Left fielder giving chase. He gets there to make the play, and that ends the inning. So they breeze through this half of the inning to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's the Indians 6 and the Tigers 5. Hunter Wood will come on out of the bullpen as he'll be appearing in his 3rd game this season.
Hunter Wood.
Let's take a look at Hunter Wood.
So the lineup flips over and digging in, Victor Reyes. He'll look to get the Tigers going in their half of the 6th.
Right-handed. Fastball, all fastballs and a changeup.
Now time granted here at the plate as he'll step out of the box.
Gosh, I'm tempted to just leave Cedeno in again. We'll play with him or Buck Farmer for now.
Third baseman in tight, protecting the bunt, the first pitch.
Ball 1, no strike.
The 1-0 is looked at off the plate for a ball.
Hey, you want to talk about being in the zone? This guy's been raking lately, and it all starts with his pitch selection. 2 great takes, and he's almost daring the pitcher just go ahead and challenge him.
Line to the right side.
Oh,
he lays out for it, but he can't pull it in.
Absolutely a triple.
Around second now and headed for third. And the Tigers are in business to start the inning. They've got a leadoff triple.
That's how they teach in Little League, right?
Daily conditioning
Keep the ball in front of you
during
always.
the game. That's
Go up the
his
single.
second triple, so obviously he's seeing the ball great, and he's showing he knows how to motor around the bases just fine.
That's our second triple today, the team. Standard triple. They're conceding the run here.
Stepping in now, Jeimer Candelario. As the first pitch misses to him, it's ball one. He's got a hit in 3 at-bats to this point. Hit hard on the ground is short. Reined in. Throw to first is in time, but meanwhile the runner is in to score.
I like that he didn't try to do too much there. All he needed was a ground ball to tie this thing up, and that's exactly what he does. That's great situational hitting.
Next up for Detroit, Miguel Cabrera. Base is empty in front of him with 1 away following the RBI ground out. He's ready. Here's the first offering. Pulls this one in the air out to left. Naquin is right there as he'll put it away without much problem for the second out.
The batter, number 8, second baseman.
So digging in now, Jonathan Schoop. He reached on a single last time and later wound up scoring. First pitch of the at-bat. And there's a fastball well off the plate inside. Fooled him with that one as he's way out in front. A little bit outside. 2-1. And he wouldn't have made contact with that one with an or. It's 2-2. Now a fastball inside, and he works it back to a full count now.
This right-handed pitcher, his bread and butter is that two-seamer, and he loves to throw it inside.
Chopper to short. Throw to first in plenty of time, and the side is retired. So one run here on one hit, no errors, and no one left. 7th inning coming up, and we are all even at 6 apiece. Now at the plate, Franmil Reyes. He'll start things out here in a tie ball game.
Number 32, Franmil Reyes.
So how do we want to approach this here? I definitely want him to pitch Reyes here, even though he's a lefty. Just going to try to limit that power. Yeah, I might want to pitch at least to the first 2 guys.
First pitch on its way.
Ooh,
sends that one out of play for strike 1. A 1 count. Here's the pitch, and he lays off for ball 1. Grounded back up the middle. And that'll get through into center. So there's your possible go-ahead run on base now to lead off the inning.
I would bet that Cedeno has a pretty bad fielding rating, just if I had to guess. Yeah, reaction really low. That's why you saw that.
Hey guys, he's not known for being a singles hitter right here, but that's his second knock of the game.
And I'm sure he'll take him, but the guys on the other side of the scorecard might be thinking we really avoided a worse fate. Into the box now, Tyler Naquin. 0 for 2 from him so far in this one. Comes set with the 0-1.
Hey, textbook waste pitch right there. Does he go elevated fastball again or something slow below the zone?
Working for the punch out and the offering.
2 strikes.
Oh, this is hit to third. Will it be 2? To second for 1. On to first, and you can forget about the go-ahead run being on base. He's erased on the double play.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Domingo Santana.
So base is empty now after the double play. And digging in is the veteran DH, Domingo Santana. Alex Wilson is into the ball game now as he'll make his 5th appearance of the season here.
Alex Wilson.
Here comes the first pitch.
Ball 1.
And he fouls this one off. The 1-1. Hit high and deep to right center.
Oh, jeez.
And this is going to get down for what should be extra bases. And there's your potential go-ahead run.
Faster runner. That's an inside the park home run.
And that's his first triple of the season. The way he exploded out of the box, you knew he was determined to get
Not
the
a true
third,
center
and
fielder,
he made
though.
it happen.
Good fielder, but love the effort. I say that with a smile. That's ridiculous. Alright, well. Just in case. I'm tempted to walk the bases loaded and pitch the corrals. But you can kind of do that, right? We can toy around with these guys. He's got plenty of gas still.
So now Carlos Santana, as the first pitch to him is off the
See if he'll
plate
get
for a
himself
ball,
out.
1-0. It was a walk in his last trip. Santana in front with a 2-0 count.
Hey, he's going to have to forget about that triple right there and bear down on this next batter. Have confidence in his catcher if he wants to bounce something and be on the attack.
3-0 to him now.
I think we'll
Every
give it a
base
strike
runner
there.
in a close game like this really matters, so you can't afford to
Ooh,
be
they
giving out
didn't.
free passes this late.
Oh, and it
And
burned
he
me.
has delivered one of the biggest at-bats of the afternoon as he cashes in with a base hit. Notch
Just
one in the
got through.
score column as a runner from third crosses the plate. Now a 7-6 game.
Boy, those have to feel really
Wasn't a
good,
bad
D-Roy.
pitch.
You get late in the game, you come up with a big
Okay,
RBI base hit right here to give your team the lead.
Yeah, no one remembers that ground ball with eyes in the top of the second inning. You want to show up when the game is on the line. Can you quiet your emotions down, take the crowd out of it, and slow yourself down enough to come through? And that's exactly what he did.
So now to the plate, Oscar Mercado.
Oh,
my,
gosh.
this ball is crushed. Where will this
Oh,
one
good.
end up? And that ball will stay fair, and it's gone. A home run.
Well, Tiger pitching. There we go. Damn, Alex Wilson.
So a 2-run homer down the line in left. Second home
Watch me
run
strike out
early
Perez
in the
now.
year
After
as
saying I
they
should've
jump
just
ahead
walked
by
two guys.
3.
8
Hey,
pitches.
every once in a while, this speed guy will jump up and bite
Lock and
one.
change
He
in 8
absolutely
pitches, huh?
crushed that baseball. Doesn't fit his usual tool description, but he can go deep if you leave one over the heart of the plate.
Roberto Perez will stride in again as first we flash you back to his at-bat in the 4th inning, and what a big one it was. A 3-run home run that was certainly one of the big blows in the ballgame to this point.
He struggled a bit coming out of the bullpen here, so he needed that strike. Maybe it settles him down a little bit.
A pause and the 0-2. Off the outside that time as the breaking ball can't catch the zone. Out in front as this is skied in the air to straightaway left. Stewart is there, makes the catch, and the side is retired.
But
they strike for 3 in the inning. 2 on this 2-run home run. Get up and stretch. Home half of the 7th coming up. It's the Indians 9 and the Tigers 6. Leone will come on and make his 4th appearance in this campaign.
Number 53.
C.J. Cron will stand in again as we flash you back to the middle innings here. This was a big blow, a 2-run home run that really got his guys going.
The first baseman, C.J. Cron.
New pitcher.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. And he starts him out with a strike on the outer half.
Probably a design take right there. They need base runners, so they're going to make him try to bring the ball in the strike zone.
He's ready. Here's the 0-1. And there's ball 1. Leone, once a member of the Cardinals organization. He signed as a free agent with this organization earlier in the season.
Yeah, I know he expected to get a longer-term deal, but these are the facts right now. He is on a 1-year deal, and he is going to have to produce if he is going to get that multi-year he's been looking for come off-season.
Look out. That one almost got away from him. 2-2 now.
He went deep earlier, so that might have been a little bit of a message they were trying to send to get him off the plate. At the very least, they're clearly trying to get him from getting his arms extended again.
Another 2-2 offering. Fastball just missed above the zone.
You know, you don't always have to straight challenge a guy on a 3-2 count. With the 3-run lead, no one on base, this is the perfect situation to do it. No reason to nibble and possibly set up a big inning.
Payoff pitch one more time. And that misses ball 4. It's a leadoff walk to start the home 7th.
The right fielder, number 4, Cameron.
Ready for another chance? Cameron Maybin. He was a ground-out victim last time up.
Yeah, Matty, expect this pitcher to try and get the same result. That's his last at-bat right here. The double play is in order. Anything on the ground, the way this defense is, they could certainly roll too. All you want is the leadoff man to get on to start a big inning, maybe get a big rally going to claw your way back into this ball game.
The 1-0. Line to the right side. Well, this is speared by the first baseman, and they'll put the tag on him heading back to first. It's a double play.
Rogers.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Into the box now, Jake Rogers.
And
he hasn't quite had the same fortune at the plate as many of his teammates. No hits for him so far. A bit high there. A ball and no strikes.
Right?
Couple of lefties start to get loose now in the
double,
bullpen.
at least got the run of the 3rd.
Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Went about halfway there, but it's a called strike regardless. Maybe too much break on the slider. 2-1. Pulled high in the air out to left field. Nick one's under it.
See that contact?
He makes the play,
exactly
and
what that should
that'll
do.
end the inning.
Not at the warning track or anything like that.
Tigers are shut down there. They don't make any headway. Still down 9-6. So striding forward now, Cesar Hernandez. He struck out swinging in his last trip to the plate.
Yeah, and kind of shocked he got blown away with a fastball. You could tell he was late on that one. And we'll see if he tries to cheat to something this AB.
Joe Jimenez has been summoned from the bullpen as he'll do so to start the 8th.
Number 77, Joe Jimenez.
He comes set. Here's the 0-0 pitch. Try to bunt for a base hit here as he gets this one down. This gets foul. It's 0-1. Now here's the pitch. Fastball called for strike 2. Well, too much tilt on that breaking ball as it misses low. Jimenez A right-hander standing 6'3".
Interesting. 34,000
He's in his
people
fourth season as a major
at this
league
game.
player.
There was 15,000 at the last game. It's really bizarre.
The 1-2. Popped him up.
Over the plate.
Crone is there for it. He's got it one away.
The batter.
So striding in, Mike Freeman is looking for hit number 3 here in this at-bat. He's ready. Here's the first offering, and it's fouled away.
He was absolutely all over that fastball. Have to find a way to keep that fair.
And that's a called strike at the letters. Though that looked high from here, it's 0-2 now. Indian shortstop behind 1-2 in the count.
Stone cold take right there. That fastball very well could have sent him packing back to the bench.
2 balls and 2 strikes now. 1 out, nobody on. And here is strike 3 called on the fastball. Looked to be about eye level, but it's out number 2 instead.
Now batting.
Ready for another shot now. Jose Ramirez. He flew out in his last at bat. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes.
Nope. That's inside.
Ball and no strikes. The count to Jose Ramirez. And he looks at a changeup in there. 1-1. 1-2.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Pitch on the way.
2 balls.
2 out, nobody on. He stays alive, still 2-2. Here's the pitch. Still even at 2-2. Hit hard to the right, but foul. Ready with another 2-2. A swing and a miss as he chased with 2 strikes, and that will retire the side. Indians go down 1-2-3. They won't add to their 9-6 lead. Oliver Perez is on to pitch out of the bullpen in the bottom half of the 8th.
Number 39, Oliver Perez.
Bottom of inning number 8 set to go. Standing in, Kristen Stewart. He singled his last time up.
Number 14.
Now time is barked out by the home plate umpire.
With discipline, he could take this at bat, but
Jordy Mercer will try and get his club back into it here as he'll pinch hit to lead off the home half of the 8th.
Jordy Mercer.
the new pitcher.
And now we'll take a moment here at home plate as he asks for time.
Just try to hit your right field here. Nothing crazy.
And a fastball's in there for strike 1. The windup and the 0-1. Fastball just misses. That's ball 1. Right side, but it's going to be a foul ball.
Well, just gonna take what I can get now.
The 1-2 is offered at and missed. He chased it for strike 3.
Definitely.
That was a nasty-looking slider that time.
Yeah, that was really well executed, Matt. A classic strikeout pitch. You think it's fastball middle in, then it starts bearing in on your back leg, and unless you hit it out front, there's nothing much you can do with that.
Into the box, Nico Goodrum. And he takes ball one.
Got to find a way to scratch at least one across. You do not want to take on the monster closing the game down 3.
The 1-0. Ball 2 now.
Not a great spot to be in right here, 2-0, but I'm not so sure why he's pitching this guy so cautiously. A bottom of the order guy you don't normally see getting pitched like this.
Behind on the swing that time, and it's 2-1.
Be a good guy for Diamond Dynasty.
Now here's the pitch.
Oh, that pitch is out.
Well, he really needs to make this guy swing the bat right here. He's not the type of hitter you want to dance around with.
Now the pitch. There's the good fastball, and he can't catch up. 3-2.
When you get yourself to a 3-1 count and you get a fastball, those are the ones you really want to punish. Couldn't get the bat on it, so we'll see if that comes back to haunt him.
Into the windup, ready with the payoff pitch. And he takes ball 4. So a good job out of the 9-hole in getting on base as we go back to the top of the order.
Up next for the Tigers, the center fielder.
Digging in and looking for more, Victor Reyes. Couple of triples on his line so far. He's 2 for 4. Now time called at the plate as he'll step out and try and start it again. He's set. Here it comes. Here's a little chopper up the middle. Scooped up. Clips it behind his back. There's one. Throw on to first won't be in time, so they just get the 1 there.
And kids, this is why you always go hard into second base. Could have been an easy double play ball, but the slide really impacts the throw to first, and they wind up only getting 1 out on the play. Good, aggressive, legal slide that time.
At the plate, Jeimer Candelario. He got on top of one and was a ground out victim last time.
Probably look to steal in this at bat at some point if you get the opportunity.
First pitch on its way. And look out as that fastball ran in and got him. Ouch, Brad.
Wow, I'm not sure if he was looking past this guy to the slugger coming up or just lost focus. But now the big bat steps to the plate with a great RBI opportunity.
Into the box, Miguel Cabrera. And Dan, this could be a real make-or-break situation at this point in the game.
Yeah, Matt, at least scoring 1 run in this inning is so important to them to possibly get back into this thing. Baseball doesn't have a clock, but you only have 27 outs to work with. They're running out of those pretty quick.
Love the fact that he's not scared to go right back inside with another fastball. I know he hit the last guy, but if he's going to have success, he's got to establish that pitch in.
A ball and a strike to Miguel Cabrera. 2 down, runners at first and second. Fastball close, but he didn't get it. 2-1.
Great chance right here as a hitter to be really aggressive. With 2 guys already on, pretty good shot. He's going to get a challenge pitch right here.
Fly ball out to straightaway right. Reyes is under it, and he makes the catch for out number 3. Tigers strand a pair. They don't make any headway. Still down 9-6. Jordy Mercer takes over out in left field after entering the game in a pinch hit role last half inning.
Number 9.
So now it'll be the 4-hole hitter, Franmil Reyes. He's 2 for 3 and looking for more here. Travis Demeritte is into the ball game now as he'll take over out in left field.
Number 50.
Arodys Vizcaíno enters from the pen to start the 9th inning as he'll try to keep the score right where it is heading to the bottom of the 9th.
7 strikeouts in 2 2/3.
And he knows.
One batter who has not struck out. That reported them out.
First offering on its way. 0-1 count and the pitch. A bouncer to the left side.
Oh, no.
Throw on to first for the out, and that is how the ninth inning gets underway.
Base runner speed being where it should be.
Standing in, Tyler Naquin. He's hitless in 3 at-bats to this point. Just off the outside that time, laid off for a ball. Bases are empty, 1 man out. A 2-0 count to the Indians' left fielder.
2 balls, no strikes.
And he misses again with it here. It's 3-0 now. Domingo Santana waits on deck. And a curious looking swing that time, as he likely had ball 4 there, but instead it's 3-1. Now here it comes. Popped him up. Goodrum over to his right. Makes the play, and there are 2 gone now.
Now batting, designated hitter, Domingo Santana.
You guys, if you haven't subscribed to the SSG YouTube here, please
Coming
do.
to the plate now, Domingo Santana.
You can follow them
He made
on
it
Twitter
to
as
third
well.
on a
Some Sports
triple in his
Gaming with a
previous
9
appearance.
instead of a G at the end. And you can follow me on Twitter at Mike Lowe 47.
Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. Oh, what a pitch to start the at-bat there. It's 0-1.
Today
Ooh, that was an ugly swing. If I'm pitching right now, I'm throwing that.
I picked up on eBay today Head Coach 09 for PlayStation 3. How exciting is that? I say that somewhat sarcastically. I'm excited for it.
Same pitch again. That
If you
was
haven't checked
ugly.
that game out, that is one of the classics for sure.
The 0-1 on its way.
Ball.
And
Very
that's
cool franchise
inside
mode.
off the plate
Better
with the
than any
fastball.
Madden
It's
franchise mode
1-1.
for sure.
Just missed with that heater, but even if he wanted to swing.
Also, speaking randomly of football, if anyone's interested, we're trying to fill out the last few spots for our front office football league at SSG, Sim Sports Gaming. That league's been running weekly since 2015. We started with the 2015 season. We are in the 2020 off season. Draft is next month. It's all in real time. Super cool. There's like 5 or 6 teams available. So ping me on Sim Sports Gaming Discord if you want to check that out. Front office football is a game that the new one will be out probably in the fall. That's going to be made by Out of the Park Developments now. The guys who make Out of the Park baseball. So
I don't think he could have caught up to that one.
oops.
To short. Fielded cleanly.
Out.
Throw in the dirt, but a good scoop at
Well,
first saves an
would've been
error
a nice
as the
save,
side
but
is retired.
you're down.
Down in order go the Tribe. They won't add to their 9-6 lead. Brad Hand is the man called on to close this one and earn a save in the ninth. So that'll bring up Jonathan Scope. Couple of singles for him and 4 trips for him this afternoon. And a big pitch coming here late, so he'll step out and ask for time. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes.
Ball 1, no
Fastball too high to start him out here.
We'll do some
1-0.
post-game analysis here. If you want to stick around to see the very end, or if you jump to the end, thanks for checking that out.
Nope.
And
That's a ball.
2-0 now as this misses below the knees.
No
The
strikes.
last thing you want to do when you've got a 3-run lead in the ninth is give the other guys any sense of hope.
That's
It's a
big
good time to
picture.
challenge here on 2-0, especially since there's a good chance he's taking until he gets a strike.
2 balls and a strike now.
1-run game, I'd let him swing.
He's
I win
set
this one.
and the 2-1 pitch. This is line to left. Naquin is there, and that's not the start to the bottom of the ninth this crowd was hoping for. 1 away.
Well, he hit that ball pretty well, but the only problem was that he pulled off it just a
The only
bit.
problem is
The
Brad Hand's
location
ratings
was a
are so
little
high.
on the outer half, so
just
he would have
became
hit
a
it even better
fly ball.
if he would have stayed through the middle of the field with it.
Now at the plate, C.J. Cron. He's working on a 1 for 3 thus far. Here's the pitch. First pitch hacking here, and that's the first strike.
Hey, from a pitcher's standpoint, sometimes the greatest pitch is the slider that backs up. He got away with that one, but he wants that thing to bury down the way.
Now here's a shot out to right center field. Around first, he's digging for second.
You don't get too many pitches a day in the big leagues middle cut. His eyes lit up right there. This pitcher's lucky he's not getting another ball from the umpire.
Now at the plate, Cameron Maybin. He was a double play victim last time around.
He's got good clutch discipline, so I don't mind if he takes him at bat. Yeah, he's like that motion.
Here's the first pitch to him.
Ooh, that's a strike.
Runner at second here with one man out. Ball one.
You know, in this situation, you almost have to pitch like there's no one on base. That run really doesn't mean anything with the lead they've got. The hitter is the guy that can turn this game on its head.
High in the air out to center field. Long run for the center fielder. He gets there to put it away, but the runner tags and breaks for third. And he's up to third safely now with two gone in the inning.
Square that up. Squared up him pretty nicely. His ratings were so
Chance
good.
here and stepping in, Jake Rogers. Although there are a couple of bases open, and we'll see if they think about working around him. First pitch of the at-bat. Fouled off. The 0-1 delivery. And this is swung on and missed. So with that, they find themselves down to their final strike here this afternoon. Last breath for the Tigers. Good job to spoil that one away, and he stays alive. Now a swing and a miss on a pitch that tied him up in knots.
A lot of analysis
game
with that.
is
A lot
over.
of pitches.
Yeah, and they just keep on keeping on. Got a nice little run going here, winning 4 in a row and playing with a lot of confidence. Success is never guaranteed in this game, so you have to appreciate it when it comes.
Hey, YouTube,
9-6, the final tally in this one. Cleveland
here.
used a 3-run seventh to help propel them to the win. Hunter Wood claims the win out of the pen, his first. Brad Hand records the save, his second. So that just about does it for Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, Heidi Watney down on the field, and the rest of our crew. I'm Matt Vasgersian. Thanks for watching MLB Network.
Let's check out the batting average ball and play. We'll do Cleveland. The first was 10 hits.
No errors. They left 10 men
They
on
had,
base.
I believe, 2 home runs.
Time of the ball game,
Yes,
4 hours
home
and
runs.
33 minutes.
35 at bats.
Thank you for joining us
Good
here this
strikeouts.
afternoon. And we remind
Did
you
they
to
have any
please
sacrifice
drive
flies?
home
They did.
safely.
They had 1. And so, Cleveland's batting average ball in play, 308. Again, perfect, right? They hit a couple home runs, just 1 triple. So again, it's just a small sample size, but the batting average ball in play is perfect. 1 double play. They've walked 6 times, that's a lot. And that's really what got us into trouble, I'm guessing. Carlos Carrasco pitched really well for them. Their bullpen, everyone really pitched well for them, even though they gave up 6. Or I'd say he didn't pitch well. Carrasco gave up 5 runs. But the bullpen did a pretty good job there. We struck out 7, that's nice to see. And they walked twice today. Let's look at the Tigers. 1 home run. We did not have any sac flies, so let's do our batting average for ball in play. We had 13 hits. We had 1 home run, 40 at bats, and we struck out 7 times. We had 0 sac flies, I think. So we actually were at 375, so we were a tick high. But again, those things can happen. I bet you if we did it just off the bullpen, it would be probably a lower number there. Michael Fulmer pitched really well, and I jinxed him. The first 2 innings was pretty sharp. Got in a little trouble in the first. But 3 2/3 for Fulmer, 6 runs, but 5 walks, 3 strikeouts. So again, nowhere near as good as his first start. Bard came in, pitched well. Cedeno came in and pitched well. And then Alex Wilson gave up the crusher there, that 3-run home run, takes the loss. Back end of the bullpen did well. Jimenez Vizcaino came in and did a nice job. 1 wild pitch. We looked at Cleveland's pitchers, but not too in depth. Yeah, just the bullpen pitched well. So that was that. Let's look at the pitcher analysis. We're mostly looking at balls and strikes, things like that. So 64 in the middle there in yellow, you can see there. 64% of their pitches for strikes. That's perfect. First pitch 56, again, totally fine. Tigers 56, just a tick low, but again, nothing terrible. First pitch 52, that is low. And that was probably one of the reasons why we saw ourselves get into some bad spots with walks and so on. We were starting guys off. Balls probably just a little more than you'd want. But again, we're talking a couple extra batters maybe, so that's not necessarily the reason why we lost. So foul balls are a little low for the user, and I have lowered that slider, so that's something I need to keep an eye on. I want to see that foul ball around 15% or so, like it is there for Cleveland at 18, so again, that's pretty good. Swung and misses, we did it a lot today, 31%, a lot of swings and misses. That's good though, and I actually think as we continue to improve, we'll see that go down and we'll see foul balls come back up a little bit, so I'm not in a huge rush to change that. They were a little bit low today, just 16%, but again, that happens. Cleveland's a good team, so that's the analysis. Tough loss. That's 4 losses now in a row for Detroit. Really hope we can stay competitive here, but we'll see. If not, it'll be a nice rebuilding franchise season. So one of the reasons why I'm not streaming every single game. Hey, let's open up our pack. What the heck, right? I've unlocked a couple diamonds already just through getting free packs. Let me save this real quick. Do my first ever live pack opening, because I'm sure it'll be some real gems. Here we go, everybody. One less pack openings. Let's just flip them all. It's all gonna be trash. Hey, we got a gold. That's cool. Alright, well, there you have it. So anyway, go ahead and follow me on Twitter if you don't mind. Mike Lowe 47. You can also follow us in Sports Gaming. That is helpful because sometimes they'll tweet out our stuff here. And what else? Subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's the biggest thing. Just trying to get that everyone transferred over to that new channel there. The next stream will be Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. By the time we get into that, I can give you a quick preview of what that game most likely will be. Let's see. So, I eventually want to get this synced up with the real life schedule. I think being ahead is a little bit helpful because once the world gets back to normal and summer vacations and things like that, if that's even a possibility this year, it's nice to be a little ahead. So let's see, what is today? Sunday? Yeah, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It'll be on the road in Kansas City at some point. One of these games for sure. So that's what we're looking at. So be on the lookout for that. And again, yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope the sliders are working well. Give those a vote in the vault if you haven't. Again, follow me in all the different places I've mentioned 6,000 times. And if you're looking for other leagues to join, check out Sim Sports Gaming. Just connect with us on Discord. There's a handful of different commissioners in there running different leagues, and we would love to get more franchise people like y'all involved and meet you and get you into the leagues that would interest you. So all kinds of different sports. So thanks for watching, everybody. I will see you on Wednesday.